If it's one thing most Americans can agree on, even if it's on both sides of the aisle, Democrats and both Republicans can agree on, it's free money. Wouldn't you agree? Who wouldn't want some free money? And today we're going to be talking about stimulus checks, baby. Here in America, we love that stimmy. Give me that stimmy. Stimmy! I want my stimmy, baby. And I'm sure you've heard that DOGE is out there slashing federal budgets, firing people, and saving the government a ton of money. In fact, that he's saving so much money that they're considering giving all U.S. taxpayers a stimmy check. Woohoo! Stimmy, baby! Give me that stimmy! They're thinking about, with all this money that they've saved, they could probably give us $5,000 for each household that's paying taxes. $5,000, y'all. And guess what? From what I've heard, it doesn't sound like they're going to be printing more money to give to us. It sounds like they're just going to be giving back the money that was wasted. But if you ask me, there's going to be a lot more that needs to be returned if you're going to return everything that was wasted. But this is a good start. $5,000 for a stimmy check. Let's check it out.
Possibility of DOGE dividend checks.
I think he's going to find $1 trillion.
Yeah, I think so.
But President Trump and Elon Musk setting their sights high for spending cuts during an interview with Fox's Sean Hannity. And while federal employee layoffs have sparked protests, Musk says the goal is essential.
If the deficit is not brought under control, America will go bankrupt. This is a very important thing for people to understand.
And Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, has a running count of the savings, now pegged at $55 billion.
Whoa, $55 billion in savings? That's pretty damn impressive for, 2 weeks of work. That's pretty impressive. 55 billion with a B.
When a user on X suggested cutting checks to taxpayers to refund some of those savings, Musk replied, "We'll check with the president."
This is nothing more than a money grab.
Democratic critics have been
What's really cool is that the idea just came from a tweet from a user, but hey, if we're going to get the money back, let's get the money back. Why not? Why not? Why does the government have to keep the money? I don't know. So there it is. It's not a stimmy check. It's just tax refunds. We're not going to be, like I said, we're not going to be printing money just to give you this money. This is actually your money that's going to be given back to you. So if they reach $2 trillion in spending cuts, so right now we're at 55 billion. So we got a ways to go to get the 2 trillion. But I have a feeling that our U.S. government is not going to disappoint when it comes to finding anomalies with spending. So we got some tweets here from Michelle, America First. Whoa, President Trump is considering sending every American $5,000 check called the DOGE Dividend. How in God's name can Democrats fight that one? I don't know. It's just too good. Make it rain, baby. That's right. Give me that stimmy.
$1 billion. They've canceled so far. Over 1,000 contracts have been canceled. And I think that the number is only going to go up, Ainsley.
Yeah, and he's even showing an interest in the idea of guaranteeing a $5,000 check to every American. It would be called the DOGE Dividend.
Apparently, this is the dude that floated the idea to Elon Musk. Let's hear what he has to say.
President Trump's DOGE dividend could be a really big deal. And it's really simple the way it works. You take all the money that DOGE saves, 80% of it goes down to paying the national debt, 20% goes back to taxpayers.
That's not even the whole amount. 80% of it goes back to paying the debt, the national debt, and we are only getting 20% of it, but still it amounts to $5,000 per household. That is insane. Plainly not going back to us in the form of services and security and things like that.
In the form of a refund check. Why? They were lied to. They were cheated. They were defrauded. Their money was supposed to go to bridges in America and veteran health care. And
Yeah, exactly. We were thinking all these things like it's supposed to go to freeways and healthcare and all these things, but apparently
Said it
not.
was sent overseas for climate operas in Colombia and DEI musicals in Myanmar. That's unacceptable. So the first reason you need a DOGE dividend is because you have to do right by the taxpayers. They deserve a refund check for the money that they sent to Washington that was abused. Number two, when you cut the taxpayer into DOGE, you incentivize them to report abuse, waste, and fraud that they see in their own lives in the federal government, and that in turn drives up the total savings that DOGE delivers, and in turn drives up the DOGE dividend check. Number three, it restores the trust between the taxpayer and the federal government. There's a contract there. The taxpayer pays their taxes and works hard, and the federal government delivers services. That contract has been broken as DOGE has exposed. So now it's time to restore trust.
I agree. Giving us a little something would definitely create huge inroads to trusting the tax system. Because right now, we've been finding out that we've been paying for transgender surgeries. Nobody asked us about that, and nobody really wants their money to be spent on those things. I mean, a check would definitely help. Yeah, it would definitely help my opinion of the government.
What better way to do that than to apologize and actually deliver on that apology with a refund check? And then fourth and finally, because the DOGE dividend is contingent on that individual having paid federal income tax this year, it will actually incentivize labor force participation. If folks know that there's a $5,000 check coming next summer when DOGE wraps up its work, and they're on the sidelines now, that gives them every incentive to join the labor force, to start paying taxes, and in turn to get that $5,000 checks. Of course, the economic benefits of more Americans entering the labor force are enormous. Right now, 7 million working age men are neither working nor looking for work. So President Trump's DOGE dividend on every single count is a positive.
Wow, I didn't know 7 million working age men in America are not working or looking for work. That is pretty insane. But yeah, I mean, if there was a $5,000 stimulus that I could get if I started paying taxes, I would definitely think about it.
Positive. And the best part is the inflationary risks just aren't there. Unlike the COVID stimulus checks, which were funded via deficit spending, borrowing money, these are funded exclusively with savings. For every $5 saved from DOGE, $1 goes to the taxpayer. So again, not funded by deficits, funded by savings. And then number two.
And like I said earlier, we're not printing money out of thin air just to make this happen. So it's not going to be inflationary. It's actually going to be just savings that's going back to the folks that actually paid it.
Think about who these checks are going to. They're going to households that have paid federal income tax. In fact, when you look at these types of households, when they get a $5,000 check like this, they save, they don't spend it. They use it to pay down debt. They use it to create a rainy day fund. They use it to reorganize their life and their finances. So very different from the COVID stimulus checks that went to everyone at a time when there were massive supply chain disruptions and a negative labor shock. President Trump's DOGE dividend is the icing on the cake. 77 million people voted for President Trump because they know he will deliver major government reform. This new administration, 1 month in, is off to an insane start, and we're going to keep the good work going. Honored to have Elon's interest in this DOGE dividend proposal by my investment firm, Azoria.
That is pretty damn cool. This guy is he's genius. He's a genius, and I hope he can make it happen with Elon.
DOGE is having an incredible couple of weeks under President Trump's leadership and Elon Musk's execution. But here's what we have to do to take this mission one step further. 80% of the DOGE money saved needs to go to paying down the national debt, and the other 20% needs to go right back to the same people who sent it to DC in the first place, taxpayers like you and me.
Yes, because that's our money, and we gave it to the government with understanding that it's going to benefit us in the end. But we're learning that it just doesn't.
DOGE is set to save $2 trillion over the next 2 years. There are 78 million tax-paying households in America. That means that $25,000 per household is what's being saved by DOGE. 20,000 of that goes towards the national debt, and the other 5,000 needs to go right back to households in the form of a DOGE dividend, a check saying that the federal government misused your funds. We abused them. We sent it to the transgender opera in Colombia. We did not do.
if I get a letter from the government saying, sorry, I sent your money to the transgender opera in Bolivia, I would be quite happy.
Right by you. And now it is the beginning of earning public trust. Just like a company has a money-back guarantee on a product that doesn't necessarily fit its description, our tax dollars were supposed to be used for America, not for other countries. DOGE uncovered the waste, fraud, and abuse, the absolute egregious use of funds. Now it's time to refund those tax payments back to the people. Use it to pay down the national debt. That's how President Trump and Elon take the DOGE mission full circle. And it's just icing on the cake.
Wow, I agree. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about the DOGE dividend. Do you think that something like this will restore your trust into the tax system and what the government spends your money on? Or what do you think? If you don't agree, do you think that this is just a bribe to Americans to gain their trust? I don't know. Please let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with this. Personally, I think it would be a good step in the right direction to regain trust in the government because it's definitely not there, especially from this guy. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.